Welcome to the Coaches Roundtable. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Campman. Albert, King football. We talked about it in the beginning. Oh, Western PA, Eastern Ohio, it is big. Well, guess what? It's halfway over, Albert. If you're in District 9 or District 10, your season's half over. And if you're in the whip, it's over half.
Yeah, and there's a lot of playoff berths still up for grabs, and that's the key thing in today's world. And before, when we grew up, you win it, you're in. Now,
Win it or you're out.
now you go 5 or 6 deep until you pay out. But there's been a lot of great performances in the area. A lot of great players putting up great numbers, and let's run with that,
That's
George.
right. We'll talk about that. You're familiar with this guy, Nick Ionelli at Elwood, 219. That's a big game. Anytime you rush for 200 yards, Al, you're getting it done.
Yeah, and he's a big back who has speed. Runs on my track team in a 4x1.
Fast kid too, Al?
Fast and big.
Oh, boy.
Very, very good athlete. And the offensive numbers they're putting up are huge. Can he get it done defensively? Is the question, but congratulations to Nicky for his great performance.
And Ori Rinneman, we've talked about this at Mars 202, Al. Mars, they changed the running backs. This guy graduates, that guy graduates, but the bottom line is Mars can run the football.
Yeah, they do. They believe in it. You know, that's what they do. They run the wing tee down there. They're gonna run it. And they had a major injury, and what happens? Ori Redmond comes back and fills right in, runs for 205. They believe in running the football at Mars.
And Connor Slomka, Pine Richland, when they're running the ball, look out because they already have you spread out. They have a potent passing attack. They have a quarterback that can throw that ball on a dime, and they have wide receivers that can go get it.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. And when I watched Connor play as a sophomore, I knew that he was a serious guy, and signing to go play with Army tells you right away that he's not only a great running back, but a great kid.
Great student and
yes.
a kid that really, has a future because those academy kids, they are special.
They get it.
Exactly. PJ Fulmore, North Catholic, Albert North Catholic, the same way. They're going to run the football. They and Clareton are going to have a showdown at some point that I think I would pay to see, but I will say this, don't get behind them.
Yeah, and don't get behind Jeanette either. Jeanette's waiting right there, too.
Okay.
There's another team saying, no, not so fast. Even the Shannick's saying, not so fast.
And the Shannon. Cody Milson at Knock 123, a big night. Anthony Painter at AC Valley 106. Tony Ferraro at Meadville 105. Tyson McClure at Meadville. Boy, Meadville, 2 kids run for 210 yards. That's a big night.
And they've not had great teams there for a while,
No.
so that's nice that the offensive line is coming through
And
for
Damian
Meadville.
Pickett for Butler ran for 101. We're going to talk about the Butler game a little while. Just to mention, they had that huge game with Seneca Valley. It's a backyard brawl. Seneca back to the wall out. Had they lost that game, I believe they're home in November. Right now, I think they can still get in there. And you know, Albert, I know your Elwood teams. I remember what you used to tell me. Just get in.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
it.
in. When you were in with those great Aliquippa teams and those great Beaver Falls teams, I'd tell somebody, they'd say, your buddy, I said, if he gets in, he's going to make noise.
And Coach Hall wants his son to get healthy, too. You know, and if he gets healthy by the end of the year,
Yeah.
then that might make a major difference also in their team.
Top passers, big night for Andrew Romanchik at Freeport, 247. Cameron Patterson at, the Grove. Still winless, but the kid throws for 5 TDs. Al, I was at the game. We did it on Armstrong that they committed to the sophomore quarterback. The future's bright in Grove City if they can just hang in there.
Yeah, well, both teams, you're talking about Freeport and Grove City, it's not their offense. They got to get better defensively because they're putting up numbers offensively.
We're going to talk about that later. I have a question for you, my football guy. Jason Danbach at Riverside 183.
Yeah,
that's a big game.
They're playing better, and they're a playoff team this year. They look like they're a playoff team. They were after the coach last year, and once again, you find out immediately. Don't be getting after the coach too quick. Let the players play a little bit.
Let the players play the game, people. Really. I mean, this blaming the coach for everything. My gosh, they're running Belichick out now.
How about that?
The guy's been in 5.
And Harbaugh at San Francisco.
Yeah, he's only in the championship every year. T.J. Hole, big game, 160. He's not 100, Al.
That's
We would
what I'm
say
saying.
right now, I talked to
No,
Carmen.
he's not.
He said he watched the game a little bit on TV last week. He said that the kid looked good, but he didn't seem quite himself.
Once you said 100% is what you want. And let's hope he progresses week to week. And Seneca Valley could be dangerous at the end of the
Oh,
year.
I agree. Lane Ciccarelli at Union Reimersburg, 168. Jamison Smith at Butler, 147. Adam Shanlo at North Catholic, 145. Now, there's Cardinal World North Catholic. That's all you need for them to throw for 150 with that ground attack and that monstrous line.
Yeah, when it comes down to nitpicking time, though, they'll be running it.
Jeff Clemens at NA, 140. Jake Rosberg at Mars, 137. Caleb King at Carn City, 124. Carn City, still a powerhouse in the area, Albert. They've done it for years. I forget how many years ago they had us at their steak fry, and they were winning then, and they're winning now. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, I like the way they practice. I like the way they think. They're thinking championship every year. I think that's the way the route you take until proven otherwise. Try to get the best out of your kids.
Receivers out, Marcel Cleckley at Riverside. Now, I don't know Riverside to be a big passing team. Is that changing?
Well, they have some athletes. This kid was on the 4x4 team that won the state championship in track and field. And
speed.
He's got speed. They have speed in the backfield. They got to throw the ball. So it's a mixture at Riverside. They're running and throwing the football.
And then Mason Diard at Seneca Valley, 7 for 82. A nice game there. I mean, when you get that, that's a nice game. Dylan Hawksbine at Freeport, 6 for 80. Tyler Wilson at Union Reimersburg, 6 for 72. And Vashon Graham at North Catholic, 4 for 104. Now, that tells me they're throwing the ball down the field.
Well, they're probably play action.
Yeah.
The running game sets it up.
Suck 'em up.
Nebraska used to do it all the time. The tight end be standing down there by himself.
Makes sense. Hey, boys golf, Nick Leone at Butler at 33. Aubrey Clausen at Freeport at 34. Ben Huber at PR at 35. Marissa Balish at Pine Richland at 35. And Christian Evancic at Knock at 36. Girls golf, Bridget Merton at Mars at 39. Girls soccer, Al, here's something I've seen a lot of highlights. I don't know that I've seen this. Emily LePresti at Carn City. Not one hat trick, 2.
Yeah, in soccer, if you score that many goals in a game, for your
She
team,
has 6 goals.
She has goals herself. So that's quite an effort.
Now, our power ratings, Al, sometimes they're a little different than some others, but we have Woody High at the top and Central Catholic number 2. Let me say this. If those two get together in Thanksgiving, I'll be in front of the TV.
Yeah, and they will be. I would be surprised if anybody can play with either one of those two teams. Let's put this. I think Central Catholic is the class. I think Woodland Hills is a little bit behind them. Even in our ratings, we have Woodland Hills above Central Catholic.
I remember the kid was in 9th grade, the great runner, and you told me, you said, that kid's in 9th grade. I turned the thing, I said, he can't be.
He looked like a college running back. And then he got hurt or he got in trouble. I can't remember what happened. Mm-hmm. And then he signed with Penn State now. I think he's ready to go full speed ahead to college. But he's a big-time back. Central Catholic will have their defense ready for him, though.
Well, I would agree 1,000%. Pine Richland, Penn Trafford, and Penn Hills close out at the AAA. Once again, 2 juggernauts, West Al and Central Valley. They will meet in the Whitfield Championship, or does TJ have something to say about it?
On paper, I think that those two are way better than everybody else, but you don't win the games on paper. I will say this, Montour gave West Allegheny a great game, so somebody might follow their game plan, 21-14. Central Valley has not been in a close game yet. They've killed everybody, including Penn Hills, who's an excellent Quad A team.
Well, you know the coach down there. You had said, you and I were speaking, he committed to the spread.
Yeah, tremendous
What did he
job.
tell you? I'll talk about it for a minute. Because they used to be Sluggo Beaver County, right?
Yeah, he talked about, he said, for 15 years, he said, I did everything Larry Bruno did, everything. And he said, I just decided I had so many athletes that I was not getting enough action offensively. He figured he can get 30 to 40 more snaps in, get 30 to 40 more snaps in with your athletes. You have a chance to score touchdowns. I don't think they've been under 50 yet in a game.
I always look at the scores and I think to myself, they're loaded down there. Albert, they got together. They got a little school like Monaca and mixed it with Center. Did it make that much difference, or was this coming?
Because I asked him.
That's what I want to know.
And 1/3 of their players.
Oh, a third?
2/3 of their players are Center kids. A third of their players are Monaca kids. So that's a major difference.
Yeah. TJ Hampton and Franklin Regional round out our 5. The double A. Here's another one's coming, Albert. Thanksgiving weekend. South Fayette and the Quips. Albert, it's going to be like thunder and lightning. You know what? South Fayette's going to throw the ball and spread them out and run it, and the Quips are going to make athletic plays all over that field.
Yeah, there's a team, and I think Washington is a team to look out for.
We have them at 4.
I think Washington's a team with the athletes to play either one of them. So although they're talking Aliquippa, South Fayette, don't count Washington out.
Interesting. Now, we have Washington and Seton LaSalle. Carn City, obviously, at 5-0 also. We're going to talk a little later about Slippery Rock Hickory, the job that the Slippery Rock coach has done up there to come in there, Albert, and go 0-10. 0-10, yet keep that belief system, run that option offense, and now they're to the point where they're state ranked.
Yeah,
Single A, here it is again. We have two Titans. We have Clareton and we have North Catholic. You think Neshannock, Jeanette, maybe
I'm not sure about
somebody like
Neshannock.
that?
I'm sure about Jeanette.
Really? Jeanette can play with
Jeanette
those
can
people?
play with anybody. Jeanette's, yeah, that team dropping to single A is an amazing drop for them. And they have the same athletes the other two schools have. Look out for Jeanette.
Really, that's interesting because I would think that North and Clareton are going to play in the championship.
Oh, that'd be the favorite. They're the favorites for sure.
And then Avonworth we have at 5.
They're very good also, by the way.
Okay, I've not seen them play. One thing about the Whippeal playoffs that make the football and basketball different in the football, if you don't win it, you're done. The Whippeal playoffs last so long as the rest of the state is playing off, the Whippeal's playing their championship. If you win the Whippeal, it's one more game to the state championship, so you're almost there.
Yeah, and that's why they've struggled many times. They're excited for the WPL championship run. In District 7, that championship is a big time thing, and there's never a guarantee of success in the state because we won this. But we still playing, Coach? Yeah, we're still going on.
Well, the good thing is generally when it's like a Clareton or somebody, they'll catch a team out of District 5 or
Easy
whatever.
coming in, huh?
Oh, I remember. We've made some jokes about it on here. PG soccer rankings, AAA Seneca Valley where the boys are 8-1, and the AA Mars is 10-0. Vincentian is 8-1 in the A. And the girls, Seneca Valley soccer. Albert, 11-0.
And that's Dave Sylvester, and Dave just won his 200th game.
Okay.
And
congratulations, Dave. He's a buddy of ours. We're not going to lie.
Yeah.
Way to go, Dave.
And and he's a very good basketball coach too.
Yes.
The soccer program at Seneca Valley is second to none, and right now they're a runaway freight train. But once again, Dave's not satisfied. They don't win it all.
No, he wants it all.
Yeah, exactly.
We were down there giving a lesson, remember, and somebody said, "Oh, the soccer's good. The girls' volleyball is very good. They're just good in everything."
Yeah, I think the coach of Seneca Valley also, I forget the name, but he won his 200th game too. I don't want to leave him out. Congratulations.
Yeah, and AA Mars is 9-1. The girls' volleyball, Seneca's number 2 in that also. As you said, a juggernaut. They're the largest school, I believe, in the Whippeal. I think they just passed NA or they're very close, and they're just a runaway freight train.
They are.
And we're going to see in basketball. We did the basketball game last year. They beat Butler. I remember doing that game 4 years ago. It was 40-2 at halftime.
Yeah. Big improvement.
Big improvement. Coach Lombardo,
Yes.
hats off to him. And then we have the Pine Richland volleyball at number 10, and then AA. Guess who it is? Freeport. They're there every year.
Yeah, they are a legitimate program, which I hate that word.
You don't like that
word.
word.
No, I don't. But every year the kids don't believe in that. See, the kid. That's what you said about at Slipper Rock. Those 8th graders, when they were in 8th grade, they believed they could get better. And you get a class like that, that's who's playing football right now.
We're going to talk about the game. Now, our college football rankings, we have a little fun with them. We have Oregon at 1, we have Oklahoma at 2, Alabama at 3, then we have a tie at 4 between Florida State and SRU. Let's talk a little bit about Slippery Rock, Albert. They lead the nation. They win 63-19 Saturday night. They scored over 50 points. They're the number 1 team in the country. They average, Albert, 568 yards on offense. The quarterback threw for 4 TDs and 300. Shamar Green ran for 128. By the way, Albert, he's the number 1 rusher in the country.
Well, we got a little tougher schedule coming. And I think even Coach will say, let's find out what happens when we get into our league. But right now, they are dominating not only offense, but I think they're even doing well defensively.
What happened the other day, I said, I don't want to bother George, but I know what a great guy he is. So I sent him a text on Sunday. I said, can you give me some thoughts, on your team so far? And he said, offense, obviously, 568 a game. They're just rolling. But he said, we're playing good defense. And once again, Albert, the side of the ball that no one talks about, special teams.
Yeah, and I think all 3 of them, and that's why they're ranked how high they are. They're playing all 3 sides tremendously, and defense is really difficult in this spread attack time. Slippery Rock is getting it done with some great athletes on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay, now next week they play Gannon at Slippery Rock.
Highlight a lot more.
Now, Gannon comes in 4-0, also nationally ranked. What is going on with these two teams? What I've noticed, I've been around here over about 40 years now, and what I've noticed with Slippery Rock and Gannon, the home team is dangerous. I like SRU at home versus just about anybody.
It's a major advantage in that league. Boy, that's a good statement, George. It seems like, hey, what league does the home team dominate? The PSAC's the league.
Without a doubt. And what do you take? You think, is it the crowd? Is it the other team traveling? Is it the stadium? What would it be? Because in the big schools, even the top teams win. Alabama, Florida State, Oregon, they can win on the road, but the average teams struggle.
I think there's a lot of more parity, and that's the reason.
Division two.
Very. Oh yeah, very.
Okay.
These teams are equally ranked. They're recruiting the same kind of player. They're not going national. They're not getting players out of Texas and California. If they are, they're getting lucky, and they're so equal that little advantage playing at home is big in Division II.
Interesting. Now, a couple stories of the week we want to talk about. There were two huge games this past weekend to keep the focus on the high schools, and the one was Slippery Rock and Hickory. You have the Little Giant building his way up, Slippery Rock, 19 straight league games. And you have the old veteran powerhouse Hickory, back-to-back District 10 champ. The Rock opens up a new field. We were there a few weeks ago. We did the game at the college. The new field is beautiful. There was an atmosphere. I think that Coach thought at Slippery Rock there might be distractions.
And I think he over-worried there that these kids were really pumped for that game. It was a once-in-a-lifetime game. They knew they had to beat Hickory to get to the place where they wanted the promised land of number one, and their defense came through big time. It was a defensive game throughout. I thought, watching film on both of them.
You talk about
that,
it.
You have film. Hickory was overrated offensively.
You saw them on huddle, and you told me, you said they're going to have trouble scoring on Slippery Rock.
Yeah.
But we thought that Slippery Rock might have trouble scoring on them, and they did.
Exactly happened. The game went exactly I thought it would go. Hickory's turnovers killed. And when you circle something in any sport, football, basketball, baseball, if you're making errors and you're messing up defensively or you're giving up turnovers, you're going to lose. Hickory's turnovers killed them. Slippery Rock took advantage of the situation. A good team moving on and now trying to win that league.
Exactly. We talked to Brennan Hathaway on the radio the other day. Obviously, he's quite excited. I called him in the locker room. He was about in tears, to be honest with you. But let's say this. We're going to take our hats off to this guy. He comes into that program, takes over, commits to the option game. The first year he goes 0-10. Albert, there could have been some doubt.
Yeah, there was. But as I said, not only has he done it right, but he also stepped in at the right time. That 8th grade class was the best class in Slippery Rock for a long time, and he brought it along. Now they're seniors, and now they're trying to get that right this year, get it done at Slippery Rock.
They can play for that District 10 title. Do you look for them to play Hickory again in the District 10 title?
Well, they should, but I really like the Greenville team a lot too. So even though I'm one of the few guys that says Greenville can beat either one of them, but people up in that Mercer County are saying they're going to meet again.
Interesting. Another big game this past weekend. Butler County supremacy in the quad A. You have Seneca and Butler. Butler, just, new coach, Al. Look, the guy's getting his feet down. He's trying to establish a program. It's not easy in the quad north. Let's start with that. My Lord, when you're going Central Catholic, North Al, North Hills, Pine Richland, that is no league to cut your teeth in.
Yeah, but you have to cut your teeth somewhere, and Butler was always a powerhouse a long, long time ago, and that's what people are still living in. And this coach, the new coach, has done a great job of elevating their play.
Yes.
And Seneca Valley, who has been on the uprise, has been a very good team. So that's why this game was interesting, because neither one of these teams want to sit home. They want to be playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you talk about playoff implications. Had Butler won, they were in.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, and right now I'm sure they can still get in, but I'm not sure what has to happen. It's too early. But it was a must-win for Seneca Valley. If they lost, they were out.
Must win. And they were thinking they had a very, very good team coming in.
Yes.
And have struggled, but I told you they're still dangerous. If they get healthy, they had a lot of injuries. I know injuries are no excuse because you have to go play with who you have. But they have some more games left on the schedule. Can they build off this win over Butler?
Good point. And I think, obviously, with Seneca, getting the quarterback healthy is the key, the coach's son. He has to be healthy. They've done a fine job at Seneca. They always have the big guys up front, though, Al. You can almost count year in and year out. Seneca has a line. But ironically, the Butler game comes down to a big kick return, special teams.
Yeah, and it's the second time we mentioned that today. Coaches who spend time on that excel. If you leave it and don't spend time, you'll find out it's going to come and bite you. Seneca Valley seems to return kicks every year. That's part of their repertoire. Congratulations to Seneca Valley for that.
Okay, I'm going to put your football coach's hat on. Now you're in that situation. You have special teams. If you're the coach at one of these places, do you like to mix some sophomores in to get them letters, or do you say, hey, guys, we got to get the 11 guys here that can get down and cover that kid?
Well, that changes high school to high school.
Okay.
If you're a big school, quad A, then I do, because you usually have enough athletes you can put. But you're a little school, you can't afford to do it, because if you do, you're going to put a kid out there who really is not ready to play at all. And there's going to be a lot of TDs. So I think the size of the school has a lot to do with it.
I remember one time I was watching a game film, Albert, and the kid from Hopewell, it's the running back
Shell.
At is it West Virginia?
Shell,
He's carrying the ball on a kick return now, and somebody must have put some little ninth grader
That's
out
exactly
there to
right.
get a letter. He stiff-armed him, Albert. He hit him so hard that the kid's head hit the ground. He never got his hands out.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's even a AAA school. But at the little schools, a single A and double A, you almost always have to play your best players on kicks, punts, everything, because there is a major drop-off between first team and second team.
It's not like recruiting 60 and you can recruit backups and such.
Oh, yeah, North Allegheny. And when I did the North Allegheny game against Seneca, both teams, one ran out 80, the other ran out 70. So you got that many players, you have a chance to get enough to play on the kickoff
And,
team.
two platoon. Art Bernardi was two platooning in Butler in the 60s and 70s. This is nothing new. It's just numbers. In today's world, a lot of these kids, Albert, if they don't start, they don't stay out.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it's a truth. There's a runaway freight train of how fast can you give me satisfaction? That's what happens in this world. Not only from the kids, but from the parents. And parents, I would hope you tell your kids accountability is important, and sticking with it when things don't go right is important. That'd be part of our show tonight. That might be important to tell your coach, hey, same thing, stick with your kids.
Yeah, stick with your kids. Don't give up on them. And you parents, your child's on the team and he's participating and he's contributing in some way. I don't care if he's at practice and he's holding the dummy. He's making that team better. Don't get into this thing where if you don't start, you quit, or you call the coach. If you don't get the ball enough times, it's awful.
That's why it's called a team. It's not called you, I. It's called Seneca Valley. It's called Butler. It's called Pine Richland. That's the name. That's the name of the team, not the individual on the shirt.
Now, for our stories of the week, I'm going to start with the Pirates. I have to give you.
I'm ready.
You sat here, and we've said it and now some bald guy sat here. I'm not sure who it was, and said, not only will they make the wild card, they'll have the home game.
That was one you got, George.
And,
George, right.
We were right. It's going to happen Wednesday night. The Pirates are playing. San Francisco Giants come in. Now, you have Baumgartner. Lots of experience.
For a young
11
guy,
wins on the road, Al. Mm-hmm. He tied for the most wins on the road. I don't know he's going to do a Cueto and drop the ball, but there's going to be a blackout. Talk about that a little bit.
That won't affect Baumgartner at all.
Okay.
No, that was a major
He's a
difference.
pro.
Yeah. No, he's just a good pitcher.
Okay.
and he's a lefty that pitches high in the strike zone, which always gives the Pirates trouble. And so this game's going to be a 2-1. 3-2, 1-0 game. If the Pirates are going to win, they're not going to erupt on Baumgartner. If they do, I'll be shocked. But they got the guy who's pitched the best for him all year going.
That is Volquez?
Yeah, he leads the league. I think he leads the team in innings pitched, ERA, and wins. I mean, I wouldn't be scared. At those three stats, that means he's been there all year for them. And in September, an 0.98 run average. This is going to be a 2-1 game. I would say which team can get a run in the first 3 innings is going to win. Whichever team can get ahead early, I don't think they'll give up the lead. I don't think it's going to be a come from behind game. It's going to be the team.
Well, how about the bullpen? Does Pittsburgh definitely have advantage if they get to 7 or not?
Both bullpens are good. Both bullpens are, and that's what San Francisco has come on strong at the end of the year.
Okay, because Romo was struggling
early in the middle of the year. That's when they lost 7 or 8 in a row.
Romo was struggling.
Yep. And Pittsburgh finished off the year with the last 2 games, people worried about their bullpen. Okay. I think it's the strength of their team. I think it's a strong part of their team.
Now, Volquez, I've seen him on occasion struggle early. Walk, this, that. Don't put 2 guys on and let the Panda Bear hit one.
Yes, Sandoval will be the key player on the Giant team. I think Marte will be. I'm writing the script right now that the Pirates are going to win with Marte getting the winning hit. I really believe in it. And Martin playing just for the strength and character of the team. They believe when he's on the field, they can win. It looks like he's healthy enough to play.
Good point. And one thing about Marte, for the people that don't know, his win above replacement, he's 12th in the league.
Yeah,
How many
tremendous.
people know that a guy, when you mention the Pirates, you say Kutch, you say Jay Hay, you talk bullpen. Marte is 12th in the league and wins above replacement, and that's impressive.
Yeah, that is, and everybody knows Kutch was number 1, and Harrison 9, and Martin 10. They don't realize in the top 12 was Marte.
Very good. Now, you're going down. The area is crazy for the Pirates because they were bad for 20 years. Somebody said they celebrated. I said, if I didn't make it for 20, I'd celebrate too.
Yeah, and somebody makes a big issue of that, and I don't.
You didn't see it.
Every team handles things differently, and I think the Pirates getting in last year had a taste of it. They really love what was going on, and I think the joy of being together as a team. They have that more than any other team around this area. The Pirates really like each other a lot. I don't think the Penguins do, and I don't think the Steelers do.
Well, good point.
I think the Pirates really love everything they do together. That celebration was more of, hey, we did it. We're a team.
They're a team. All right. Well, I wanted to get to the Steelers next, so let's talk about it. A disaster at home on Sunday. They're winning the entire game. I talked to you on the phone a little bit, and I said, I know they're going to win. I just don't know how many they're going to win by. They get the ball, Al. They need a first down. They're 3rd and 5. Who's their best player? Their quarterback. Who is their second or third? Their tight end with 10 receptions. Don't they plow into the line on 3rd down? I have 2 questions for you. 1, do they not trust Roethlisberger? And 2, hasn't he deserved the right to change that play and pass the ball?
Well, I don't think it was a trust thing. It has to do with anything. I just think they thought their defense could win the game.
Oh, man.
And that's the formula with the old Steelers. And they have not figured out. It is not the formula today. Let Roethlisberger and Brown and Miller try to win the game. Get a first down because you cannot trust their defense. When is the last time they have stopped somebody when they had to? And then that punt put you well. I would have cut him the next day. He'd been cut.
29-yard punt.
You're paid as a pro to punt the ball at least 40 yards. You punt the ball 29 yards. He would have been cut. He would have came in and he would have his walking papers. I said, yeah, if you can't punt it. My junior high kid punts the ball 29 yards. So it was a combination of everything. But first of all, they did not play to win the game. They played not to lose.
You said your dad used to tell you, what he called it? Safety ante.
Why would you play safety ante?
If you're a coach, the same way. Don't coach tight.
Yes.
Get those kids out there. Let them think they're the best. Guess what? They'll play like they're the best.
It works better. It works way better.
Pitt, a disappointment last Saturday. They've been great to us, Albert. They treat us like kings. E.J. Burgetti. But the bottom line is on the field. You can't be a 21-point favorite and lose to Akron. It's that simple.
Yeah, until they get a quarterback, though, it's going to happen all the time because they have the Stanford and the Wisconsin mentality. Wisconsin was 3-3 with South Florida, same idea. They believe they're going to run the football. That's how they're going to try to win the game. And then when that plan A doesn't go, you have to go to your quarterback. And they don't have one. They need to go out and recruit.
I'm going to be devil's advocate. You want to play sluggo up the middle? I'm not coming.
That's the truth, and that's what happens. They can't recruit a quarterback because they used to go right out the door and get a great quarterback in the Pennsylvania, Ohio area. Now all the great quarterbacks are where? In Texas and Florida. And why would you travel up to Pitt to play if you know you're only going to throw on 3rd and 9?
And they're all running the spread as opposed to that double tight end sluggo football that Wisconsin lost.
Yeah, Wisconsin, Stanford, and Pitt are the 3 teams.
But the thing is different about Wisconsin. They always had that guy like Toon that could get down the field, and
they still have. They have it. They have that. Pitt has that.
Just a quarterback.
Pitt has that.
So they have to recruit a quarterback if they're going to change.
Yes.
I would agree 100%. Hey, Albert, another fast show. I really enjoyed it. Look forward to getting together next week on the Coaches Roundtable. Thanks for watching.